Hello student, now this video is 1st of Feb current affairs and the first news is PNB launch co-branded contactless credit card with Patanjali in partnership with RuPay. PNB and Patanjali Ayurved Limited have launched co-branded contactless credit card in partnership with the National Payment Corporation of India (NPCI). The co-branded credit card are offered on NPCI's RuPay platform and are available in two variants: PNB RuPay Platinum and PNB RuPay Select. Atul Kumar Goyal, MD and CEO of PNB, and Acharya Balkrishna, MD and MD of Patanjali Ayurved Limited. Now the next news is SBI Tata Powered launch Surya Shakti Cell for financing solar project. India's largest lender is State Bank of India, and the SBI Managing Director is Dinesh Kumar Khara. Launch has launched a dedicated centralized processing cell, Surya Shakti Cell, after entering into an agreement with Tata Power Solar System Limited. SBI, with the launch of this centralized processing cells, aims to strengthen the existing financial agreements for solar power project. Now, the Surya Shakti cell is set up in Mumbai's Balad estate. Now, the next news is Lieutenant General G.A.V. Reddy succeed Lieutenant General KGS Dhilo as Defense Intelligence Agency head. Lieutenant General G.A.V. Reddy and Supreme Court has been appointed as the new head of Defense Intelligence Agency. General Reddy would be succeeding Lieutenant General KGS Dhillon, and the Director General of Defense Intelligence Agency is the head of the organization and is among the principal advisors on intelligence to the Minister of Defense Rajnath Singh and the Chief of Defense Staff. Now, the first Director General of DIA was Lieutenant General Kamal Devar. Now, the next news is GST collection is in January cross rupees 1.3 lakh crore mark for fourth time. The central government goods and GST tax collection in January crossed rupees 1.38 lakh crore. GST collection crossed rupees 1.30 lakh crore mark for the fourth time, and the revenue for month of January 2022 15% higher than GST revenue in the same month last year, and 25% higher than the GST revenue in January 2022 2020. Now the basically GST introduced the amendment and the Constitution's Act 101, and these questions also asked in IBPS PO mains. Now the January is the fourth month when GST collection has crossed rupees 1.30 lakh crore. Now the next news is Tata Steel's arm to buy debt-ridden नीलांचल इस्पात बचपन में हम यूज़ करते थे, बेसिकली सुनते थे, पता नहीं, मुझे तो याद नहीं है, आई डोंट रिमेंबर कि. Now the Neelachal Ispat Nigam for 12,100 crore from government, and the center has approved Tata Steel Long Products bid to buy steel producer Neelachal Ispat Nigam. The center's alternative mechanism approved the bid for buying 93.71% of shares of JV partners of four CPSCs and two Odisha state government PSCs at the bid enterprise value of rupees 12,100 crore. The center does not hold any equity in the company. Now the next news is PR Srijes become the first Indian man to win World Games Athlete of the Year award, and veteran Indian hockey goalkeeper PR Srijes won the prestigious World Games Athlete of the Year in for his 2021 performance, becoming only the second Indian to receive the accolade. Now, the Srijes become the first man and second hockey player to in the award and win the award, and following the footstep of compatriot and Indian women's captain Rani, who took the 2019 prize. Now the next news is Hoysala. Hoysala temple in basically situated in Karnataka and are the India's nomination for the World Heritage list for 2022 and 2023. The Hoysala temples of Belur, Halabid and Somnathpur in Karnataka have been finalized as the India's nomination for World Heritage list for the year 2022 and 2023. Now the sacred ensembles of the Hoysala have been on UNESCO's tentative list since April 15, 2014, and stand testimony to the rich historical and cultural heritage of this country. Now, the permanent representative of India to UNESCO, Vishal V. Sharma, and UNESCO is basically French organization, and its formation is 16th November 1945, and headquarter is World Heritage Center, Paris, France, and its director general is Audrey Azoulay. Now, the next news is former RBI Governor Urjit Patel resigned as independent director of Britannia Industries Limited. Former Reserve Bank of India Governor Urjit Patel has resigned from the post of non-executive and independent director of Britannia Industries Limited, citing a full-time work assignment starting next month. He was a part of the board of the company, and the former governor also confirmed that there was no other reason that other than his new project for the resignation. Now, the next news is economic survey. GDP forecast for 8 to 8.5% optimistic, and the economic survey GDP forecast of 8 to 8.5% for the next fiscal year. Next fiscal is optimistic, and the union budget is expected to focus on fiscal management and reforms to give a booster dose to the economy. The survey's GDP growth forecast of 9.2% for this year and 8 to 8.5% for the next year will catapult India's as the forecast fastest growing major economy of the world for two consecutive years. Now, the next news is Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presents Union Budget for 2022 and 2023 in the Parliament on 1st of February. Now, the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget for the financial year 2022 and 2023 in the Lok Sabha at 11 a.m. on 1st Feb. After getting the note from the Cabinet, the Finance Minister will present the Union Budget in the paperless form for the second time in Parliament. Earlier, the Union Budget of 2021 and 2022 was delivered in paperless from the last year for the first time. Now, the next news is Indian Coast Guard celebrates its 46th Rising Day. The Indian Coast Guard is celebrating its 46th Rising Day on 1st Feb, and from just 7 surface platform in 1978, the Indian Coast Guard has grown into a formidable force with 158 ships and 70 aircraft in its inventory. It is likely to achieve targeted force level of 200 surface platform and 80 aircrafts by 2025. It is the fourth largest coast guard in the world, and the largest coast guard in the world basically is USA Coast Guard. And the next news is PM Modi inaugurates PM of Portugal, Antonio Costa, on the re-election. Now, the Prime Minister Antonio Costa won re-election in his third consecutive terms during the general election in Portugal as the new far-right party Cheka took ground in the country's parliament. The Socialist Party won about 41.7% of the vote, giving them an absolute majority in parliament for the first time since taking power 6 years ago. Now the party now control at least 117 seat in the 230 seat parliament, and the Portugal president is Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa, and the capital is Lisbon, and now currency is the euro. Now the next news is center theme of economic survey 2021 and 2022 is the agile approach. The center theme of this year economic survey is the agile approach and implemented through India's economic response to the COVID-19 pandemic shock. Informing further, the preface of economic survey state that the agile approach is based on feedback loops, real-time monitoring of actual outcomes, flexible responses, safety net buffers, and so on. Now the next news is India join global movements to raise awareness on neglected tropical disease. Observing the Third World Antidius Day on 30th January as a key moment to highlight the global community commitment to ending antidius. India joined close to 40 other nations to eliminate the iconic New Delhi railway station in purple and orange hues, and which is one of the busiest railway station in the country in the terms of railway frequency and passenger movement. Now all the question has have been done, so student read very carefully. All of these questions are very crucial. So bye, take care.